What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the neighborhood. It's your favorite neighbor, Snowden here. And today I'm going to be talking to you about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is a brand new theme park attraction coming to Walt Disney World next month at the end of May. So you may or may not know, I sold my soul to a certain rodent. And for the cost of that soul, I get to do things like try out brand new attractions before the public. I don't know if it's a fair trade-off, but hell, it brings us to this video now, doesn't it? Basically, I just wanted to give you a pros and cons list and what to expect for when the ride opens at the end of next month. And let's get into it. So starting with my pros, you feel me? One of the first things that I noticed walking into the boarding station was the ride vehicle. Now it sits for people, but it's attached from like a train sort of thing where 6 vehicles are on one ride thing, if you will. So it's a roller coaster. It does go fast, but you don't do any flips or anything like that. So if you're cautious about roller coasters and whatnot, just know you're not going to do any loops. You're not going to do too many inversions. You are going to go fast though. You feel me? And the ride vehicle is dope. I'll get to that later on with the pro list. But the thing that I noticed, what I was getting at, is the ride vehicle is really good. It's really dope, and it's if you're someone like me who is a plus size daddy, you feel me? Some of the ride vehicles at theme parks tend to be a little bit uncomfortable because let's face it, I'm a big man living in a skinny world, but your girlfriend likes me, so tell her to call me. But the ride vehicle for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind was very spacious and it was nice. Like I had wiggle room, guys. Like I was good. The lap bar comes down individually. Certain rides have like one lap bar that comes down over both of you. And you know me, like if I'm a little chubby checker and then someone smaller than me is sitting next to me, they're not completely secured. So I feel bad for that person. But you knew what you was getting into when you was riding with your plus size daddy. You feel me? I'm gonna keep calling myself daddy. Yeah, plus size daddy. What was I talking about? So just be aware, if you're a little bit larger, just know that this ride will fit you and you will be comfortable. However, if you're going on with bags or carrying on items of any sort, you're gonna have to find a way to strap those babies down. So if you're not used to going on Walt Disney World or heck, even Universal attractions, basically if you're carrying like a bag or something, they usually tell you to tuck it in a pocket, and the pocket fits bags or fits purses, it fits things that you purchased in the day, like maybe you got a stuffed animal or something like that. The ones on this one are tiny. I was wearing this. I was wearing just a little fanny pack, you feel me? Like, 2022 style. Catch me over in Paris. Big fashion show, you feel me? This thing barely fit in the pocket. So if you're going with like a backpack or something, that's gonna have to go around your legs or something. Just be prepared for that. My second one being the Spaceship Earth style moving seats are dope, you feel me? If you're not sure what Spaceship Earth is, it's basically the Epcot ball. It's called Spaceship Earth, but within it there's a ride and which you go to the top of it and blah, 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 blah. You can look it up on YouTube. However, the ride vehicles themselves, the seats can rotate so you can see different things. This is what's called an Omni mover, and Disney is well known for having these and animatronics. Remember that one. Animatronics and Omni movers are Disney. Like they're classic Disney, quintessential Disney when it comes to these theme park attractions. But they made this roller coaster have Omni mover abilities, which means that seat rotates and stuff like that while you're on this roller coaster. So you're swinging and the seats just turning 360 degrees and stuff like that at certain points. Dope. I don't know whose idea it was, but hat off to you. Moving on, the ride, if you're afraid to try it out, because like I said, it is a roller coaster, it's not for everybody. When they hear that word, think Rock and Roller Coaster meets Space Mountain meets the Spaceship Earth. You feel me? The seats are gonna move like in Spaceship Earth. It's a roller coaster, so it kicks up like Rock and Roller Coaster and it feels fast. And the speed accelerates and decelerates when it needs to. But then also it's Spaceship Earth because like you're in the dome and you're just going down and you're doing all these different maneuvers and it's just really dope. If you're a fan of any of those rides, try it out. It goes fast. It goes fast when it needs to, baby. You feel me? I was caught off guard by how fast that this ride did go. And it's not a short ride. You feel me? Like usually roller coasters are kind of like you get up, you're done, and then bing, bang, boom, you waited in that long line for nothing. This one has some length to it. Pause. I enjoyed the ride for how long it was, how fast it went. Pause. Moving on, because this isn't getting any better for me. Something that I'm aware that happens over in California at their Guardians of the Galaxy theme park attraction, which is Mission Breakout. Each ride has a different song, which they carried over into this one. The ride that my friends and I had was I don't know who sings it, but it's the "Come on everybody, baby, do that mamba, no you can't control yourself any longer." That joint, like I was jamming the whole time. We was rewinding cosmically, you feel me? Like I was jamming. So it also makes me want to go on the ride more to see exactly what other songs are part of the ride. Next pro, Marvel is finally in the Walt Disney World Resort. You know what I mean? Like they have things where they sell Marvel stuff, but it's not to the extent that Disneyland can have, because if you're unaware, down here in Florida, Universal technically has all the Marvel stuff. And that's because when they were creating Islands of Adventure, their original concept, DC was supposed to be in that part. But DC was like, oh no, these Six Flags guys are everywhere. You're kind of only in Florida and California, and one of these seems a little bit better than the other one. You fumbled the bag. You're dumb. You're dumb. Marvel took over their spot in Islands of Adventure, and it's probably one of the most popular things down here, if I'm keeping it a buck with you. They got great rides like Spider-Man, the Hulk coaster. We don't talk about that storm thing. That's basically the teacups, because I get dizzy, you feel me? But the first two things that I named, oh, yeah, they got Doctor Doom's Fearfall too, which is basically just a drop tower, but it's themed to Doctor Doom. Basically, when that contract was drawn up back in the 90s, there was never an end clause. So when Disney purchased Marvel back in 2009 for however much they did, I don't know how much it was. It was somewhere in the billions. It's more money than I or you will ever see in our life. You feel me? But with that being said, Disney wanted to rush to add Marvel to their theme parks because that's money. That's where they make their most money. But Universal was like, nah, baby, we still on the board because there's no end clause. So until we give it up, we Marvel, baby. Have fun with your little Pandora and your little Star Wars and your little Toy Story Land. But Marvel, we Marvel, baby. But with that being said, certain characters that pop up over in Universal's Islands of Adventure cannot cross over to Disney down here. So Spider-Man, the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, they cannot be in the parks down here. However, in California, there's a whole themed land of Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind marks the first time that Marvel is in a Disney park on the East Coast, which is, shout out to James Gunn for taking them from like D tier to A tier to the point where they got 2 theme park rides. You feel me? Shout out to them, because back in the day, didn't nobody know them. But hey, now you get to ride a roller coaster with me, Rocky Raccoon. Another pro, it's very smooth. However, the ride did open. Give it a couple years, probably won't be as smooth as it is or as it was yesterday. So, you know, but just expect a nice, smooth, fast ride. And the last pro I got for you, it's not a copy. It's a brand new ride type. It's an Omni coaster, bro. That's never happened before. Like, that's dope. It's state of the art. The last 3 rides that Disney has unveiled down here have been Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. If you've been on one of them, you've been on all 3 of them. They're the same exact ride vehicles. They're the same exact ride styles. And that started bothering me, because I was like, it seems the creativity has gone away from Imagineering, because these are literally just the same exact ride. You just change the skin on them. However, with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, brand new everything. So that's dope. That's a pro. Moving on to my cons list, on the other hand. We were not escorted through the entire building. We were brought in through the back, like a group of black people back in the 1960s, just trying to eat some waffles at the local diner, you feel me? So we were ushered in through the back, so we didn't go through the queue. And if you've never been to like Disney or Universal or any theme park that sets the ride up in the queue, it's pretty important, because the story is the thing that propels the ride. You feel me? So I don't know why the Guardians of the Galaxy are rewinding cosmically. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what villain we're going up against. I don't even know if all the Guardians are popping up, because from the concept art, they only showed Groot and Rocket. You feel me? So I don't know if the other three are going to be here. I don't know if Gamora's going to be here. I don't know if this movie takes place canonically in the MCU. So is Gamora going to be here or not? It kind of bothered me that I couldn't get the full impact or the full experience of what Cosmic Rewind was going to be giving me. But once you get on the ride, the story is there, but it's up to you to try to piece it together. And while I kind of did, the ride suffered for it a little bit. Like the ride story suffered because I wasn't able to know exactly what the heck was happening. Second, remember when I said you Omni-movers and animatronics are two Disney staples for their theme parks? There are no animatronics in this ride, and it blows my stuff to high heaven, because you're riding it and it's lit up to the point where you can see everything around you. Like, it's dark, but it's not as dark. Like I said, think Space Mountain, but just maybe a tad bit brighter, because there's screens. So the screens are constantly like on and stuff. Why were there no animatronics in this ride, cuz? Like, the animatronics could have been dope. And when you see the Guardians on the screens and stuff like that, you're like, wow, look at that. It's Star-Lord. It's Gamora. Look at Drax. He has a vest now. I guess Disney didn't want a shirtless man in their theme parks. Look, there's Groot. There's Rocket. Wow, if only it would feel real. You know what I mean? And that's what Disney was based upon when it comes to their rides. Like, they made these animatronics so it feels like you're in the story. Like, you could go touch one of them and be like, wow, whoa. But none of that's here, and it's because they have these screens, because screens are cheaper and whatever. When you're known for attractions with animatronics such as Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, the friggin' Country Bears, Splash Mountain, all these things have animatronics in it, and that's what keeps us coming back to them, because they feel real. They feel like we're part of it. There's no screens to disconnect us and realize, wow, it is just a ride, never mind. I just wish they would have thought about that. And from what I understand, they did think about it. And then they got rid of it and said, let's just do screens. I had mentioned that you can sort of see in the actual show building, there's just moments where you're like, that was supposed to be an animatronic right there. That's a spot where an animatronic was supposed to be. Wow, that big thing right there was about to be a big animatronic. I just know it. And it kind of ruined my experience, because this roller coaster would have been a 15 out of 10 if it had animatronics on it, because that would have showed the creative love and passion that Disney used to put in their theme park attractions coming back with a brand new state-of-the-art ride vehicle, one of your most popular brands of all time, Marvel, and then you go with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's fine. I'm not mad at that. But if you would have had the animatronics in there, it would have been dope. And I'm not talking about them animatronics like Buzz Lightyear over at Space Ranger Spin, or the Frozen characters minus Olaf and Sven, where it's like the body, but the face is like this, and it's just a projection of the face. No. Over in Japan, when they created those animatronics of Beauty and the Beast, bro, that's what we need to come back. That passion, that quintessential Disney touch, you feel me? The Disney difference needs to come back, and animatronics in this ride would have done it, but you didn't do it. Even Universal did it over on their Hagrid ride, bro. They got animatronics on there, and that's what makes that ride dope, from what I understand. I don't know, because me being a plus-size daddy, you feel me, I don't fit on that ride, and I won't go back to Universal because I was fat shamed that day. Sorry, Universal, but not sorry. Moving on, when I came off the ride, I felt dizzy. So if you have any type of situations where rides mess you up, like whether it's the screens, whether it's the roller coaster aspect, whether it's the spinning of the seats, whether it's all that compiled, I came off dizzy. And if you are like that, you will be messed up after this ride. There was another woman who came off the ride vehicles that we were all on, and she had to stand on the pole like this for like a good 10 minutes to get her bearings back. So just be aware, if you have any type of motion sickness like that, bro, this may not be the ride for you. Something else that I mentioned was the fact that every ride that goes has a different song attached to it. While that's cool, the music was way too loud. The same time that the Come On Everybody, Baby Do That Mamba, that song was playing, the Guardians and the person that they're fighting, I won't spoil who that is because it's cool, were talking the whole time, but I couldn't hear them. I didn't know what they were just saying. All I heard was Rocket going, yeah, it's me, Rocket Raccoon, doing a pound of smokes from Yondu's bar over on Korag. Oh, it's me, Star-Lord, pew pew. Gamora's talking, but I don't know what anyone's saying because the Mamba song is blasting in my ears, so I don't know what's happening. I already don't know what the story is. Now I don't even know what the characters are saying to propel the story. So if they could turn the music down, that'd be phenomenal for me. Once again, like I also said, you can see in the show building just enough to know that there's not a lot of stuff in that show building, but there could have been to fill space, you feel me? And you go around planets that are just projections on like big white styrofoam looking balls or something like that. And it's like, well, I shouldn't see this. I shouldn't be able to see the floor. You feel me? It should be dark enough where I'm not seeing anything except what you need me to see. But because those screens are so bright, and like it's not bright like it's daytime outside, but it's bright enough that I can see the floor and I can see the rest of the show building and see this thing is empty minus this roller coaster. It may sound like I'm complaining about something stupid, but when you go on other roller coasters or other rides, the atmosphere is there. They put stuff where they know you will see. They put stuff so you can feel like you're part of that experience. Here, I just felt like I was on a roller coaster instead of on a Disney roller coaster or a Disney ride in general. You feel me? It may sound stupid for someone who's never been to the parks, and I really hope that one of these days you get there because that way you can experience it and I don't sound like I'm complaining about something stupid and you can understand what the Disney experience and the Disney difference is. But this ride, it just feels empty and hollow inside, which is bad. Another thing that's weird, there's not enough effects in this ride. When you think Guardians of the Galaxy, you think bombastic space battles, you think lasers, you think colorful, you think rockets, and you just think 80s fever dream of colors and effects, lasers and all that stuff. And there's none of that here. Like there's a couple moments where it looks like lasers are projected onto the like the ceiling and stuff like that. But to the point where this should have been, it's not there at all. It seems kind of lazy when you think about it in the way that I just told you about it, which is unfortunate. So, but granted, they did say that the ride is not in its final form or whatever. So, granted, maybe there are a lot more lasers. Maybe there is a darker thing where I don't see the floor and I see the ceiling and all that stuff because of the screens. There's no animatronics, so that won't change or anything, unfortunately. But maybe they will turn the music down. So, I don't want to be too harsh, but I do want to let you know, just in case that is in the final product, what you're getting yourself into. Another thing that I want to touch upon, let me preface this by saying I'm not a Disney purist, so if they need to change a ride, that's fine with me. That's fine. I have YouTube. I can experience Splash Mountain and its beautiful glory anytime that I freaking want. They can change it to Princess and the Frog. I'm not mad at that. They can change Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy because Papa Walt himself said these parks will never be finished and they need to evolve to stay good, essentially. I'm paraphrasing. All you people that get up in arms about Disney changing and moving stuff or just adding IP, come here. Everything in Disney is an IP, bro. They didn't make anything original until maybe later on in their career. Peter Pan, not a Disney thing. Cinderella, not a Disney thing. Sleeping Beauty, not a Disney thing. They are all public domain things that Disney made popular, so you associate them with Disney. But they're not Disney's original creations. So I also hate when people say, oh, Disney's not even really original anymore. Shut up. They're more original today than they've ever been. So, with all that to be said, when this ride was announced that it was coming to Epcot, the experimental prototype City of Tomorrow, pretty sure I got that, where this theme park was originally supposed to tell you about like conservation, and it was supposed to tell you about how we can make the world better for tomorrow by science and different things that we can do as humans to propel us into the future as a much better civilization, you feel me? People got really upset when they said Guardians of the Galaxy is coming there. I was like, okay, maybe it's cool. We'll see what happens. Riding the ride, I can confirm that it should have been in a different park. It should have been in Hollywood Studios, which is unfortunate to say because Hollywood Studios no longer has an identity to me. Honestly, it's probably the worst of the 4 theme parks. if I'm keeping it a buck with you, and it's because it doesn't have that identity that it used to have with being part of the films and filmmaking. It doesn't have that anymore. It's just a smorgasbord of crap stuffed into those square miles of a theme park. It could have been in Magic Kingdom, if I'm keeping it a buck with you. Because Tomorrowland, if you're not aware, Magic Kingdom is divided up into a bunch of different lands within that theme park. And Tomorrowland is always the one that's kind of weird because it's based on tomorrow. However, tomorrow literally comes the next day. So everything that Disney tries to stuff in there that's supposed to be futuristic and stuff, it's either we already got it or it's literally around the corner. So instead of making tomorrow that sort of futuristic thing, you should just put futuristic things that you already have in your catalog into Tomorrowland, things that will become timeless. That's why Tron is going over there, because it's a futuristic thing. And when are we going to beam into video games? You feel me? Like, yeah, we can do VR right now, but it's not anywhere near the level of what happens in Tron and Tron Legacy. Realistically, Guardians of the Galaxy should have went in Tomorrowland at Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom. You feel me? It shouldn't have gone into Epcot. I don't care how they try to swing it, because there's no wonders of anything. There's nothing being taught. There's nothing telling us about how we can change the world if we do this, like with greenhouses, or if we can just stop littering and we can save the ocean and stuff like that. None of that is in this roller coaster, so it should have just been placed somewhere else. However, Epcot is boring as crap. I'm sorry if I offended you, but realistically, if you tell me the only reason why the park is your favorite is because you can go drink, I can do that at my house and make stronger drinks for cheaper. You feel me? It's no. So Epcot is probably one of the bad parks too. Maybe I'll make a video talking about each theme park. Let me know if you want to hear my opinions on those. But it shouldn't have been in Epcot. It shouldn't have been in Epcot. And the last con that I have, the ride is called Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, right? So you would expect the roller coaster to shift you and go backwards a whole bunch of times. While it does change the way that it maneuvers, like it hits different banks, you do go backwards a couple times. The ride vehicle turns and stuff like that. But I don't understand what the rewinding part is of the ride. You feel me? And maybe that's because I don't have the story from the queue. Maybe it's because I can't hear anything that they're saying because the music is so loud. But I don't understand the rewind part of the Cosmic Rewind ride that is about to open. I don't know. But if you were to ask me to give it a score, I would give it a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Really, the fact that there's no animatronics and we're focusing on screens the whole time bumps this ride down. Because honestly, it could have been a 15 out of 10, like I said before. But because of that, no. Because I didn't go through the queue, so I didn't get the story, bumps it down. Could this score change whenever I decide to go when it's open and stuff like that? Sure. But I mean, right now, on my first reactions to it, and after being able to think about it for a day, because like I said, I get to do it yesterday, came home, slept on it, came up with these thoughts right now. Could it change from a 7, 8? I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. Sure, it could. Realistically, all this ride had to do was beat my current favorite ride at Disney, which was Avatar's Flight of Passage. And I think it does. I think it does. Even though that ride has an animatronic, it's not on the ride, it's part of the queue. But I think this one, Flight of Passage might be a little bit better. Flight of Passage might be a little bit better. I don't know. I may have to revisit this thought in a little bit. But Flight of Passage might be like that much better than Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I don't know. Give me a little bit to think on it, and I'll get back to you. But this video has been my pros and cons list of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opening in Epcot here in Walt Disney World. Please let me know down in the comments if you're excited for this ride. Are you upset that there are no animatronics on it? Are you excited that it's a brand new roller coaster and it's in Epcot? Does that make you want to go to Epcot more if you don't usually go to Epcot? Is this going to make you purchase your first ticket to Walt Disney World? Let me know in the comments. We can chop it up like we always do. Leave a like on the video, share it around so people are informed of what the ride is, and that way they can prepare themselves a little bit better before they come down here in May and beyond. Subscribe, welcome to the neighborhood, follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in the next one.